Good morning and Merry Christmas, everybody. So this is the long-awaited video. We've been trying to get this done. I've been trying to get this done for such a long time for friends and family that wanted to see it. It's a hobby of mine, so be kind. I'm going to try to not elaborate too much because my Wi-Fi is not great and getting things downloaded takes a really long time. So this wall is fabulous. I love it. I put it on Instagram in the fall. This is just a palette that we mounted, dry brushed it. It's heavy, so it took both of us to get that up there. And then I added To All a Good Night for Christmas, and the Santa is from Kirkland's. I really had different plans for that in the middle, and it didn't work out. I didn't have time. I wanted to paint something. I wanted to pop a red there. So I'll do the kitchen another day. My tree is probably one of my favorite things. So it is a Vickerman Flock tree. They are my favorite. This is not sponsored. I think all of my trees are Vickerman. I may have one left that's not. I've been slowly transitioning to those. I might buy like one tree in a year. So this tree is 7.5 and slim, and I wanted to get it on this stool. I wanted to do that for a really long time. And it worked out this year because I needed it kind of tucked away in that corner, and I'll show you on the other wall why. So this year I kind of played up my farmhouse style, and I've got some glitz and glam. That is Dawson's Max that he's outgrown, but I leave it on there for the niece and nephews, and cousins, niece, nephew, cousins, all of those that come and visit, because they like to know what Max is up to. And there's outside, and we have a beautiful day, but it's horribly cold. Don't let the sunshine fool you. And over here I believe that's a little mini Vickerman tree. It does light up. I made these this year. I took down my artwork or Dawson's pictures that were up here. I kind of change it out. Sometimes I do reefs. And then we did replace our light fixtures. They're outdoor lights. I wanted a large scale light. I got those at Lowe's. But the tree's in the corner because I wanted to leave the dry brushed benches that I did. And they're just outdoor benches that I dry brushed. I would like to get cushions and things made, probably out of linen or something that looks like linen that I can, maintain easily with a cat and a dog, a teenager and a husband. But anyway, that's a future project, and I always have a list, just like everybody else. You have a list of things and you slowly work your way through it, and then you just keep adding more things. The pillows are from different places. The black and white ones I know I got at a really great deal at Bed Bath & Beyond. They were on clearance, and I found those online one day looking for something else, of course, and found those. And then I love the white pillows because it's creamy white. Those came from TJ Maxx. We don't have a Home Goods that's close by, and they're not online yet. I think maybe they might be online, or they're going to try to go online at this point. I'll have to look that back up. So on this side, I have a picture of 3 deer, and that goes along with our little family that we have. Not that Dawson's little anymore. He's 17. I liked the way it worked with my reindeer sign that I had gotten at a boutique. My lamps I've had that were on clearance at Hobby Lobby, and the kind of that teal color, blue color that I like. And I just downplayed it. I played up on the red. I had to be careful. I pulled out some of the teal so that it didn't look too patriotic, which would actually been a great theme also. We made these large shutters because I needed something to help fill in this space, and I think they work really well. I could have put nails on these and hung something on those, like artwork or Christmas pictures, I had lots of ideas, but time, was not in my favor this year with a lot going on for teachers and all of us for that matter. So please keep in mind that I am very conscious of what's going on in the world, and I know that people are suffering. So this is meant for entertainment and not to make light of what anybody else is going through because of COVID. So this is just something I do as a hobby. We are kind of homebodies anyway, so especially right now we stay at home a lot. This little arrangement here, I just stuck in some picks. So I keep these out during the fall. The snowflake, just pops out. So that's a really good tip is, I bought several of these because they were, 50% off, probably even more right now. So everybody run to Hobby Lobby. So I'm going to get there as fast as I can, maybe. So these chairs were thrifted, and I gave them chalk paint. I think this is, it's folk art, but it's one of their creams. I like folk art. This has held up for several years. This is like my version of a keeping room, because I don't have a keeping room, which that's something I'm kind of working on, but people sit here all the time. So these are actually quite comfortable. I tried cloth here, and my dog likes to rub on things, and if it's a cloth chair, she's gonna rub on it. And so then those other chairs had covers that were you could dry clean, but who has time for that? So I finally got rid of those and went with something that she wouldn't rub on. So yeah, we live for our animals, we do. So I hope this gave you a good idea of what the family room was like. There's lots of memories here, and it's comfy. It's a little bit fancy in some ways, but then at the same time, it's pretty casual. My armoire I've had a really long time. It's huge, like it's probably 8 feet tall, but I needed that scale of it here. So there's Mojo enjoying himself. Saki has made her way somewhere else. Now my coffee table is vintage, and I painted it. That's Annie Sloan, one of her grays, one of her lighter grays. Believe that's right. Then I painted it with that, and it's a little bit high, but it works in the space right now because this is not a lot of room between those two chairs. Like there's lots of room over here, but not when you kick back in the recliners. And unfortunately, I can't convince my husband not to have a recliner. Now, I've seen some that rock and swivel and are a more modern style, and I'm starting to like those. I didn't know if I would at first, but now really I'm kind of leaning towards those. So this couch is definitely vintage. We've had it since we built our home. It's real leather, so it's aged really well, and so that doesn't bother me. You don't have a whole lot of options with couches, because if it's a fabric you can take off and wash, you're going to have to do that a lot if it's light colored. The leather takes a beating and just, keeps on ticking. So, in the middle right here, I have a tray with a lantern. I like decorating with lanterns because you can turn on those candles. I think today was a pretty good day to video because you get a better idea. This color in here, I would say it's at least a mid-tone. It's not really dark. Now I've got another color that's darker than this, but it's at least a mid-tone. So if you're wanting something to be lighter than this, you're going to have to go with something more like worldly gray or agreeable gray. I'd have to look at Amazing Gray from Sherwin-Williams to see what the light value is on it. But this one's, it's definitely, I think it was, they talk about it like I recognize it as a lighter color, but I don't. I see it more as a mid-tone. And in the daytime, it certainly looks brighter, of course, than it does at night. But we like that because these ceilings are so high, and these ceilings are painted Divine White by Sherwin-Williams, which is more of a cream. And I do that because my trim is white, and I want it to pop off. This room doesn't have trim because of the vaulted ceilings, but we've talked about adding something there, or maybe just doing beams. So that's Christmas 2020 at the Hall residence, and what a gorgeous day. But it's so cold out there. Mojo, he's just Mojo, what can I say? We love him, but he's a cat, and he doesn't particularly like us very much, but he's got it made. That's Bill's recliner, and he's claimed it lately. So, we let him have it because he's a cat. And in my kitchen, you can see, you don't need to see me because my makeup is not on this morning. My hair is not brushed this morning. So we're past 9 minutes now. That's probably way too long to download. That light is new. I believe I got that at Lowe's. And that's probably about all. Oh, these are just curtains, or just drop cloths. They're not even all the same, so I've really got to change them because I bought them at different times, and if you're going to wash them, you need to buy more than one because you never know how they're going to wash. Even on cold water, even drying them on low, they could come out great. They could come out peeled. They can come out shorter. I washed one time, and it at least a foot was shorter once I washed and dried it, even on low. So keep that in mind, that it's okay to buy them larger than what you need, because you could have that. Now, you might find some that don't. I've had some that washed fine, but they're not really meant to be drapery material. So when you wash them, you're going to get different things. I've had some that kind of bumped and buckled all the way down. Make sure you check to see if they're seamless. If you don't want seams, this one actually has a seam. So I kind of hid it over there for now, because unfortunately Mojo had gotten either a spat with another cat or scratched himself somehow, and he got blood on my gray and white curtains, and I had to change them out, and I didn't really want to, but when I washed them, they shrank. One of them did. So, and he was fine. It was just a little scratch, and we doctored him. We have a vet in the family, so we always give her a call if it's something serious to see if she thinks we need to run him to the vet. So he's well taken care of, even though you have to scratch him behind his ears or he will bite you. And we don't know why he's still mean like that, because we do take really good care of him and feed him and give him toys and all those things. Mojo, I did not know you were going to be such a part of my video. So that's pretty much what I've got going on. The gifts are all cleaned out. I don't know how long I'm going to leave this up. Maybe longer than usual. May leave it through New Year's. May take out some of the red. So, you never know. And then the back porch, I'll give you a tour of that another day. Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope it finds you. My wish is that yours is blessed and that your family is safe and well. And we are so, so appreciative of the doctors and nurses and healthcare professionals, all those people that have been taking care of the people around the world, actually. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody. Welcome to our home. So I went all out this year. One thing you need to know about me is I am not a minimalist. So too much clutter bothers me, but then I like to go all out at Christmas when I have time. And then this is a look at the foyer. This color on the wall is pretty dark. It's called Pewter Tankard by Sherwin-Williams, and I love it. I wanted it to be dramatic. Saki has decided to bark while I'm making my video, of course. Do not have the lights on the trees, all of them. This is a Vickerman 6.5-foot flock tree. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. It fits perfectly there. Always sees a squirrel, sorry. And I love the way the mantle turned out this year. And here on these walls, and the light's not all the way on, but this is Worldly Gray. It's between a gray and a beige, and it's wonderful. I'm using it in a lot of rooms. So far, I've tried it in a bathroom, Dawson's room, downstairs in the living room. This used to be a living room. It's my office now, my dining room. And the latest project, it became the color on the walls in the kitchen. So this sign came from Hobby Lobby. I just love this saying. This greenery is new this year, and I'm loving it. It feels a little bit farmhouse, a little bit fancy, which is what I was going for. I love the stockings. They're just very simple. The letters came from Walmart a few years ago, and I just wanted that little touch of glitter. And then I just added in little pops of red this year. And I even styled the bookcases. I still need lots of books. I have some more that I've tucked away, but that's one thing that's on my list of things to collect, more books. And I have some actually upstairs, but I haven't moved them down there. I'm not going to zoom in on this, but this project right here, I created myself. But I burlapped an old picture frame on canvas, and then I used the studs around it. But these are all the pictures that we've had made as a family or Dawson over for our Christmas cards. So I displayed those up there with little, it has little clips that hold them up. And then this desk, I love the legs. I got this at Lowe's. I knew it wasn't real wood, and I was okay with that. And I figured I'd have to repaint it one day, but I knew that that would paint so well. And that, that door is vintage. And we hung it up recently. The plan is to do a large piece of artwork or several pictures there. And I just haven't done it. I hold it up and I haven't made a decision. Mojo is now scoping things out. So he's going to make an appearance in pretty much so every video, I guess. So I'll back up one more time. The lighting is not ideal, but it's probably the best it's going to get. So in the foyer, I styled this piece of furniture. The deer came from TJ Maxx this year. The lamps I've had for a while from Hobby Lobby. I painted with chalk this chair, and it's folk art paint. And then I just did a simple scarf. I wanted something there, but I didn't want anything too fussy, so I did a simple scarf. This rug I got at Lowe's online. It has a distressed look to it, which I like. I'm trying to cover up my tile that needs to be replaced, but that's on the list of things to do, is to update the flooring. It's just going to be a job, and I'm both excited and concerned about having to get that done, but it will be so worth it. And over here, I have a bench that I had gotten from Wayfair. It came in and it was so hideous. It almost looked leopard print, but not in a good way. And I think it was supposed to be distressed, but it came off like a Dalmatian print or something. So I had to paint over that, even though it was new, but that was okay. I eventually got that, and they did give me a little bit of a 10% off coupon or something for it looking like it did, because it was pretty bad. And I don't usually complain about something, but I had to on that one because it being brand new and then having to box it back up in styrofoam, and it was just too much. So anyway, they were generous enough to give me a 10% discount on that. So this hutch, I bought already this color, and it gets a lot of attention in photos. People either love this color or hate it, I'm sure. It's kind of a teal. If it's more green, I call it teal. If it's more blue, I call it turquoise. And that, turquoise is actually blue and green, but that's how I distinguish my colors in my home if someone asks. Then the double arch got decorated this year, and I'm really excited about that. I don't know that I've ever decorated. If I have, it's been a really long time. I just kind of kept it simple with one of those Joanne garlands. These are just picks. And then I stuck a flower in there too, because it's on a little clip. Those clips are fantastic. I love this pine cone wreath. It's very simple yet elegant. It sparkles, which you can't see. I leave it out for the winter. Some of this I'll leave. This is my mom's vintage village that my dad gave me recently, and some of her dishes, and then my own. And then that card back there, I think it's just a card that someone had framed, and I found it at a thrift store. And it's really pretty scene. So, and that was given to me, and it was thrifted too. So I have a combination of things. Of course, this is vintage, and then this lamp is a little bit more modern. My light fixture has been here since we built the house in '99. I debate keeping it and changing it. I do love it, but I think I'm probably going to end up with something more modern in here. And I'm trying to find the perfect combination of the farmhouse and the vintage and modern. I can't go too modern, because if I do, it makes me very unhappy. Like, I've tried that. I'm just not meant to be modern. There's nothing wrong with it. I find I watch lots of YouTube videos on modern homes too. I also like to watch people in other countries to get inspiration and ideas. I think that's how I can grow and how I can be creative. So these chairs I got, and I painted. The table is true farmhouse. I want to know the story. I've actually talked to someone that knows the lady that sold it to me. She has a booth somewhere, and I'm trying to get the story of the table, because I would love to. I hope it's a great story. I don't want it to be sad. These I put here, and they're just trellises, and then I cut the legs off the bottom of them. because I had a piece of furniture there that was not the right scale, but it's what I needed to use at that time, and this beefed it up some. So they need to now come up and over, and I just haven't got it done because this was our Christmas present to ourselves, and it's vintage, and we've added the legs at the bottom because I needed it to be higher. The puppy's gonna bark until I let her in, so y'all overlook her. She is so spoiled, but we do love her like a child. Sometimes better, because she actually minds better most of the time. So on my buffet, I added these green and crystal and sparkly, it's like one piece of cedar. And then I added some ornaments and just a simple farmhouse bow. I really wanted a bigger, puffier bow to kind of beef up the lamps because they are a little small scale for this, but that was not gonna happen. Like I just didn't have time, not this year. I love this simple tablescape because you can still eat here, and these are just quail that I found and they were brown, and so I chalk painted them and just whitewashed them actually. I took my chalk paint, you water it down, you wipe it on, you let it dry for a few seconds, you pat it off, and you keep doing that till you get the effect you want. But I just think they're beautiful and they're southern, and that's how I want my house to feel. And then I just added that Santa to that basket that's up there with just a sticky hook so I can pop it back down. This is another Vickerman small tree, and it is lit, but just this lighting is gonna throw it off. I love my farmhouse bow with a little bit of sparkle. And this is fabulous with bells on it. I have some more of that left over, and I've got some projects in mind for that. And then I just did a little bit of French ticking fabric underneath it. I love these curtains. I've had them for a few years. I got them at TJ Maxx, and I have not been able to find any more since that look like linen that I really, really like. And I keep hoping every time I go, I look, online I look. Just haven't found quite what I'm looking for yet. I may go with drop cloths everywhere. I thought about doing that too. I've watched some videos on how to bleach those to get them a little bit more white, and I think I'm gonna try that. I just gotta get the time to do it. So that's one more project on the summer list. And then right here where I was talking about the bench that I had to paint right when it came in, I love all of these. They're just pillow covers that I got at Amazon. This is kind of a teal green with a little bit of emerald, and it matches that one, and it kind of tied in. It brought the teal in here, but it wasn't exactly teal. It's a little bit darker than a teal, and that helped tie it in with my evergreens. I had these hooks already up. I'd taken some of them down, and I still need to take some more down. But as soon as I hang hats here, just cowboy hats on each side that we actually wear, and Bill and Dawson wear hats when they're cutting grass, of course, and I display those there. It makes kind of a cool piece of artwork. And this is just a garland of cotton, and I have a few of these, and I just move them around to different places and style them. And so I needed something there because I didn't want to take all the hooks down yet. That artwork is from Lowe's. It is birch trees. Those are birch trees, but they are a little bit abstract, I guess would be the best word for those. And I kind of like the way that looks to get a little bit of modern. I did get this mirror at Hobby Lobby, and I whitewashed it some because it was fading into the wall. But I think my next project would be to take that down and add a round metal black mirror to have a touch of modern right there, to try to kind of balance out some of my farmhouse. And way up high is, I can't tell you where that came from because it was a gift. This picture right here, I've seen it different places. I think I got it at World Market. I moved it in here for the pop of red. And I do that. That's a good tip, to move your artwork around and make it work in other places when you need it to, if you can do that without hurting anything on the walls. And these candles are on timers. I think all of them are. So they'll come off and on. I just tucked in some evergreen up there, and I love the way that turned out. Have not been able to do something like that before. And I'll show you other rooms on another video. Very slowly, I'll try to come back down the stairs and not fall. So, love the pop of red in here. So that's why I brought that in here, because I needed a little bit of red to tie this in to make this work. That's why this became cohesive, let's say that, because I had that little pop of red there, the pop of red here, you can see it in there, and you notice that my rugs do not match, okay? They don't have to match. That was really hard for me to accept for a while. This rug is distressed. This rug is distressed. This rug has some distressing too. So that's the way I kind of tied them in together. I really want a rug a little bit more modern, but I will not get rid of this rug. I'll just move it somewhere else. But the problem here is I had to have an exact measurement right here, because this stuck out on the bottom of the banister stuck out. And if I put a regular 5x7, it's not 5x7. It's sometimes it's 5x9. So that 2 inches made a difference. So I think I replaced this rug 4 times before I found one that actually fit perfectly. And I had maybe an inch or two of here to spare. But all the other ones, when I tried them, they didn't work. So this one must be less than 5'7", because this is actually a little bit of room over here, which I really like having a little bit of room over there. But I'm camouflaging the tile as much as I can until I can get new flooring in here. So you can always tell me in the comments your experience with flooring. We've had good experience with the vinyl plank upstairs. It's held up in rough conditions. Nail polish remover being spilled on it and all those sorts of things, it's held up. So I'm leaning towards that, but I want a heavy duty one. I want one that's gonna last a long time. And I'm gonna get one that's not too brown, not too gray, not too dark. You notice my hardwood floors are Bruce hardwood floors, and I still like that color because it's easier to maintain to me. That's just my opinion. Because the darker it is, the more you see, the lighter it is, the more you see on the floor. So I like this color because I thought it was a perfect color. And I have not updated the staircase in a while. I love the dark, I think it's Jacobine, I may not be saying that right. And then I'm not sure what the golden brown color is. So I'm not gonna update that. This is gonna stay the same. I'm not gonna update this until I see what color my floors are to see if it has to be updated or not. I'm waiting on that to determine what needs to be done. So we'll end with that. And I hope you enjoyed the tour of the office, the foyer, and our dining room. Merry Christmas, everybody.